Nowadays, personal branding trainers talk a lot about social networking. This is what people think is going to become their silver bullet. They demand that. When I'm asked to speak, most people want to learn about LinkedIn. I think there are a number of other more important things that we should talk about, but everybody's really interested in these social tools, so let's spend some time here. The big three, of course, are LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. And by now you've probably heard that these are different environments, different cultures, different ways that you communicate. So you don't post the same thing in LinkedIn that you might post on Facebook or Twitter, right? There are other places where you might be. For example, I just read a blog post from a Microsoft recruiter who says that she goes to Quora to see who's talking about what in very specific fields. This is a place where people are interacting socially and putting what their brand, their knowledge, their breadth and depth out online for everybody to see. Other places might include Instagram or Reddit. Believe it or not, Pinterest is a place that people are putting their branding statements, and they're actually doing a good job doing that. The question is, where should you be? There are probably 50 different social networks that almost make sense for you, but I invite you to find the top 2 to 5 that really make sense, and that's where you focus your time. Learn about the culture within each of the environments where you are, what the expectations are, how to share things, and then actively participate. The key is to know where you should be, when or how often you should participate, and what kinds of things you should share with others in the social environment. This is definitely a two-edged sword. There are a lot of people who misunderstand how dangerous this social environment can be. If you post things that are in any way offensive, you might be turning off that recruiter, hiring manager, prospect, customer, even somebody within your own company. There's some old advice that applies very well. If you don't want to read your stuff on the front of a newspaper, then don't put it out there. I know a lot of people feel like that's an overreach and that my involvement in my social networks is and should be private. The reality is, none of it's private, and plenty of people have been fired or lost customers because of things they've said on social networks. Again, know where you should be, narrow it down to 2 to 5 social environments, how often you should participate, and what kinds of things you should be sharing. To learn more about what you can do on LinkedIn, check out the LinkedIn Fundamentals course on Pluralsight.